You can't succeed in anything that you are not diligent about. In Proverbs 22:29, it says, seest thou a man diligent in his business? It says he will stand before kings and not before mere men. Most of us have great ideas, great talents, great gifts, but we are haphazard about it. We never sit down, pay attention to details, and tenaciously follow through with the requirements of those gifts and those ideas until they come to pass. That's why we keep struggling. People see people who succeed and they just start talking nonsense. Say, God has helped this person. Who is God not helping? If God is not helping you, will you survive? God is helping all of us. The Bible says he's not a favorite of men. He is favorably disposed to everybody. Everybody is where they are today based on the diligence they've given to the assignment God has given to them. I was with Bishop David Oyedepo's secretary when they came to Abuja. And we were talked until the program was over. They left Abuja to the airport at about 9 o'clock. And I told him, we can't talk today again since you will rest when you get back home. He looked at the time. He said, the day is still young. That's 9 o'clock. They landed Ota at 12 midnight and they went straight to work. And they worked till 2 a.m. And when they finished, the next day they must all be in church by 5 a.m. for early morning dew. How do you close by 2 a.m. and resume work by 5 a.m.? You now say it's anointing. You don't know that the results you see are born out of diligence, doggedness, discipline, focus, and commitment. This is why the lazy fail. I can tell you that most of the men that became nothing in life are the most gifted men. While rising up, they perched around word of knowledge, perched around healing, perched around prophecy. And they never paid attention to the diligent requirements of their call. They will never sit down to read the Bible. They will never take time to fast. They will never go out on evangelism. They wake up, have 1 or 2 invitations, and they feel because they prophesy the word will come to them. You are joking. Up till last week, Bishop Oyedepo went to the street for evangelism. That's why living faith is where it is. I heard him talking last year. He said his evangelism team, not the church, his own evangelism team won 8,400 souls. That's a general overseer who have been in ministry for more than 40 years. It's called diligence. The same way they went to the street 40 years ago, that's how they are still going to the street. The church is not. Your question is, how do I expand this spare part business? I've been here for 10 years. I can't remain like this. You have encompassed one mountain for too long. When light breaks out, you will break forth. You are a graphic designer. The graphic design you did last week is almost identical with the one you did in 2012. And you say, oh man, we are moving. We are moving. You are not moving. And if you are actually moving, then you are going backward. You've got to grow in wisdom. And many times to grow in wisdom, it takes prizes. Sometimes you stay alone for weeks in order to tap into inspiration. Sometimes you need to travel somewhere and hear somebody who has gone ahead of you in that field so that you can tap into something. It's the same song you are singing that somebody else is singing in Wembley Stadium. Throughout last week, I sat with Bishop David Oyedepo. What are the secrets of church growth? I want to make more impact. What are you doing? Where you are is a forest. People are paying terrible prices to come and sit down there. There's something you know. And I'm not listening to the message because I want to preach it. I want to enter into what he knows. You are a leader, you are a politician, and you can't deliver a speech for 15 minutes. They wake you up every day. You are reading. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Sorry, 1 minute, 2 minutes. You are trying to read for 5 minutes. I beg your pardon. Appear 10 times in a 5-minute speech. Because even the letter you didn't write it. I saw one on Channels TV. Became a trend because of the kind of politicians we have in Nigeria. How come you have not registered under the mentorship program of Plo Lumumba, the wisest people in Africa? and hear them talk to open your mind. Not in government, but he can analyze the problem of every African country. And when he's talking, it's like a song. He's singing into your ears. How come you've not sat under such men to buy the wisdom they have? And you think you will wake up and become successful. That's why our own idea of leadership is to cut corners. Because we don't have what it takes. Somebody is a president of a country. He doesn't know the problem of that country. You want to address your own country, you want to address your own state. On live television, you are reading on paper. What is the hope of the state? Not in government, but he can analyze the problem of every African country. And when he's talking, it's like a song. He's singing into your ears. How come you've not sat under such men to buy the wisdom they have? And you think you will wake up and become successful. That's why our own idea of leadership is to cut corners. Because we don't have what it takes. Somebody is a president of a country. He doesn't know the problem of that country. You want to address your own country, you want to address your own state. On live television, you are reading on paper. What is the hope of the state? I was listening to Nana Akufo, the president of Ghana, addressing United Nations. I said, this is a president. I don't need to be a Ghanaian. I was impressed. When he was talking, he could match any president from any nation. While the Kenyan crisis was happening, I saw the delegation, the Ukrainian crisis, the delegation from Kenya, when the guy spoke, the speech of 2 minutes went viral. The wisdom he communicated, even UN, the people needed to check dictionaries to follow him. You are not backward because you are in Africa. You are backward because you have not bought enough wisdom. You can command the attention of the world from Africa. Did you not hear about Nelson Mandela? How come you are a leader and you don't have 5 mentors? Man, 10 years ago, I can speak the tongues of Bishop Oyedepo. I'm not saying speak in tongues like him. I chewed the man until I can speak the same tongues that he spoke in messages. I can score his messages. If he start preaching anyone, I will be saying what he will say next. Because the area where you are going, you follow the people. God told me I will start crusade now. Every crusade Dr. Paul goes to, I'm finding out what is going on here. What is happening here. You've got to buy wisdom to be ahead in life. And whichever field God has called you to, you've got to have trailblazers that inspire you. And as they are inspiring you, they are opening you up to wisdom. And a point will come, you will now begin to pray and ask God for light to take you ahead. We are in an era where messages are free. That's why people took messages for granted. I used to buy Pastor Chris's messages with my pocket money as a student. As an NYSC student, I got messages over 300 with money.